Hello and welcome. Sar here. Today we're going to check the present continuous, also known as the present progressive. So this is the order of this little tiny video, okay? Okay, so the order of this video will be first, we're going to focus on the use. Then we're going to check the grammatical structure, the order of the words. And finally, some advanced tips, okay? Especially for the people who think, okay, the uses are too common, I want something extra. Well, that's part 3, okay, guys? So, long story short, let's start. Well, I took this photograph from the New York Times, actually, and these are not the real names, but let's imagine. Pay attention to Martha, Phil, Steve, and Don. Think about the action they are doing, okay? Think about that. You're gonna need that. So we have here what's the present continuous. Actually, in the last part, when I was talking about those people, I used the sentence in present continuous. It's something that we use when we describe actions happening in front of us. Yeah. In this moment, you are watching this video on YouTube. Also, with current events that are not necessarily happening right now, but they're in process. In this moment, I'm reading a collection of graphic novels. I started with Persepolis, so I have that going for me. And as you can see, there are some specific parts here. But yeah, in general, we discuss things that happen in this moment. Here we have some other examples of present continuous sentences, especially the most common question, what are you doing? So if I ask you, what are you doing? Yeah, the answer is, I am watching a YouTube video. Well, I'm listening to you can be also an option. My sister is working at the moment. Your friends are playing soccer. In these situations, we are describing an action that is happening in this moment or we see just in front of us. Well, we're just hanging out. Actually, when you explain that, this will be like a good answer for this question. All the examples follow the same pattern. So the structure of the present continuous is we start with the subject, can be either a pronoun, an object, or a person, or an animal, like me. The verb to be, that needs to be conjugated, a verb with ing, and here is something really important. We need both. We need the verb to be and we need the verb with ing. If one of these two is missing, well, it's not gonna work. Finally, we have the object or complement of the sentence. It's really important to get this conjugation right, okay? So just to remember, I know that you maybe have seen this before in another video or in class. So we know the verb to be is going to be am. So I am. He, she, it is going to be is. You, we, they is going to be are, okay? So if I was going to change this, I am watching this YouTube video. We are watching this YouTube video. You just start playing, changing things. But remember, it has to be accurate. Also, is for singular and are is for plural. But we're going to go with those examples in a moment. For negative sentences, for example here, you are not watching this video on Hulu. We basically have the same parts, subject to be, but next to it we place not, okay? Then the verb with ing, and then the complement. And finally, as usual in English, yes, no questions, we started either with the auxiliary or the struck verb. In this case, the verb to be. So we have to be, subject, verb with ing, never forget this, and the object complement. So are you watching this video on Netflix? Are you really? One final thing here. We don't usually use this with all the verbs, okay? We can only use this tense with action verbs. Walk, play, work, sit, yeah? If I say I'm walking through the park, it's okay. However, well, state verbs don't have this option. We don't usually use state verbs with the present continuous. So saying something like I am understanding, it's incorrect, okay? So avoid using these kind of verbs with this tense. Okay, so let's see some examples. Affirmative. Diana's talking to John. Okay, as you can see here, we have the verb to be, well, as a contraction, and the verb with ing. I'm taking the umbrella just in case. Okay, again, to be, ing. For the negative, the verb to be is the one in charge of including not. Okay, so Diego isn't sleeping right now. The price isn't going up as you said. So you see, to be, ing. For yes, no questions. Is Tatiana studying with you? Yes, she is. No, she isn't. Is the university opening new positions? Hopefully, if you're looking for a new job. So, present continuous, but focusing with the plural. So, here we have some examples. The first one, they are playing with your time. So, imagine somebody saying that to you. Second example, we're eating some pasta. I want some pasta right now, actually. Negative sentences. We're not going there. Actually, here something funny happens. You can either use this kind of contraction or this one. Carlos and Mia aren't taking this class anymore. So, what happens here? Well, nothing really. You can use either way, depending where you want to make emphasis. Maybe you use this form because you want to emphasize on the not part. Yes, no questions, same formula as always. We take the verb to be right to the beginning. Are we having soup for dinner? Are Allison and Miguel driving home? So, remember this picture? Okay, so time to answer some questions. What are Marta and Phil doing? What's Don doing? What's Steve doing? I'm waiting your answer. Your answers may be different, and that's okay, as long as they follow the same structure. Okay, so what are Marta and Phil doing? They're walking elsewhere. They're going to other place. What's Don doing? He's just sitting there. By the way, we can say just and put it right here because we're making emphasis. And besides, Don, I don't think he's doing a thing. Finally, what's Steve doing? He's checking the car engine. That's it. Yahoo! Now, with the general use and the grammar totally clear, it's okay to discuss some advanced uses, okay? So, use number one. Well, what's the difference between saying I'm living in Bogota and I live in Bogota? Well, Panama in the example, but you know the drill. Well, we use the present continuous to talk about temporary things, so this is not permanent. I'm living in Bogota for 3 months because of an interview or a new job. I live in Panama or I live in Bogota is because it's either permanent or for a really long time. Remember, the present simple here, it's for permanent or facts or routines. So if it falls in either of those categories, it's gonna be I live. If it is temporary, you're going to use am living, okay? Other kind of use that we have will be to show our intentions or future plans. It's a tiny way to show the future, okay? So, for example, when we arrive at the airport, we are taking a cab to the hotel. Yeah, because either you don't want to take the bus, or you're too tired, or you simply have no idea how the city works. But you see, here I'm showing my intention of taking a cab once we arrive to the airport. Another advanced use that we have for this is when we describe a new habit. For example, Carlos is jogging every morning now. So Carlos didn't do that before. Now Carlos started jogging every morning. So we describe a new habit either for us or for somebody else. Okay, so that's a wrap. There's nothing else I can say, but if you like the video, well, like the video. Why don't you subscribe? That helps the channel a lot. And don't forget, share this with any person that is learning English. So that's it for today. Cesar out. Bye. Take care.